What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the European Volleyball Show. My name's Rob St. Clair, and this is a very special episode because by the end of tonight, we will know all four finalists for this season's men's and women's CEV Champions League. We already know two of them. We know both the women's finalists, and in a couple hours, we will know both the finalists for the men. A lot to get to. Since last week's show, we were previewing the first legs of all three semifinals that were going to be played. Now we've got the women's semifinal that's completely wrapped up, and the two men's semifinals getting underway in just about half an hour or an hour from now. So a lot of great volleyball coming this evening, and we are excited that you're here to break it down with us. So before we jump into it, let me know in the chat, the YouTube chat, if you've got any questions as we're going to go through all these matches, break down some stats. If you got questions or anything about this great week of volleyball that we've had, let me know in the chat. I'm watching. And as we get to the matches, the two men's matches going on this evening, we will let you know how you can watch those. So let's jump into it. Starting off with the women's semifinals. So since last week's show, which we did last Wednesday, today is now Thursday, this entire two-match series started and finished in that time. So last week I was previewing the all-Turkish women's semifinal matchup between Vakifbank Istanbul and Fenerbahce, also of Istanbul, and I actually picked Fenerbahce to win. And to start off with just the first match that happened, Vakifbank at home put on a clinic. They looked really, really good. 25-21, 25-20 in the first two sets. They then dropped the third, 22-25, but then won the fourth convincingly, 25-18, to set up a very good situation for themselves, traveling to Fenerbahce across the city, which happened yesterday. So just to go over that first match from last week really quickly before we jump into the crazy drama that happened yesterday. The difference for me in this matchup coming in was a serve and pass. However, Fenerbahce held their own very nicely. 48% positive passing, 34% perfect. Extremely similar numbers for Vakifbank. 7 aces to only 9 service errors for Fenerbahce. That's fantastic. Melissa Vargas, Arina Fedorovtseva, to the surprise of nobody, did some serious damage from the baseline. The difference, though, statistically here was in attacking. Vakifbank, 48% kills. Fenerbahce, 38% kills. Also blocks, big difference, 12 for Vakifbank to only 6 for Fenerbahce. So it was the block defense for Vakifbank that really gave them a significant advantage in that first leg, which I was a little bit surprised by because I thought that was an area where Fenerbahce could definitely hang around. But Isabel Haak and Gabi Guimaraes were outstanding in that first leg. Gabi, 20 for 29, is just incredible. Haak, not all that good. Actually, 0% efficiency, 11 for 41 with 11 errors total. But Mariam Boz, reading the wrong line there. Michelle Barch-Hackley was very good, picking up some slack. Zara Gunesh in the middle was very good. And then blocking all around for Vakifbank was a real strength of theirs last week. So that 3-1 win set up yesterday's match at Fenerbahce, which Fenerbahce would have to win in either 3 or 4 sets to force a tie-breaking golden set. And sure enough, not only does Vakifbank win the match and force a golden set, they swept Vakifbank. And quite frankly, they dominated them. Fenerbahce was the better team in this match, definitely through the first 2 sets. I mean, look at those scores, 25-14, 25-20. Fenerbahce put on a clinic. They were so good. They handled the serve reception better than I expected. They put on a ton of pressure from the service line, and Vakifbank's offense just was not ready to handle it. Fenerbahce's block defense was significantly better. They really did their homework. They understood the scouting report of attackers in certain rotations and what shots they like to hit, and they were really able to slow down the Vakifbank offense in a way that they weren't in that first matchup. Statistically, Vakifbank 41% kills, Fenerbahce 46%. 5 aces for Fenerbahce to only 2 for Vakifbank. Passing numbers extremely similar again. 9 blocks versus 10, that's pretty close, but 11 unforced errors for Vakifbank offensively. And that is a huge difference. Sure enough, Fenerbahce in a do-or-die situation, they come out, they play maybe their best match of the entire season when they needed it the most. They sweep Vakifbank. Plenty of drama there in the fourth at 28-26. They actually fought off two set points there, down 24-22 to force extras, and eventually were able to get it done. But as great of an accomplishment as that was for Fenerbahce, they then still had to keep playing even more volleyball and play a golden set to 15 points. And question in the chat there, can you quickly explain the concept of a golden set? Yes, I can, and this is a great time to do so. So the way the format works in the CV Champions League in the quarterfinals and the semifinals is it is a two-match series, one in each team's home gym. And at the end of that two-match series, the team with the most standings points advances to the next round. And the way standings points works is pretty universal around the volleyball world at this point. You get 3 points for a win in 3 or 4 sets. You get 2 points for a win in 5 sets. You get 1 point for a loss in 5 sets. And a loss otherwise, you don't get anything. So that first leg that Vakif Bank won 3-1 was worth 3 points. So Fenerbahce needed to respond with 3 points of their own, because if the teams are tied in points at the end of the 2 matches, they immediately play a 1-set to 15-point tiebreaker to decide who advances, which we call a golden set. So that is exactly what happened in Fenerbahce yesterday. Vakif Bank won the first leg 3-1, earned 3 points. Fenerbahce knew they needed 3 points in order to force a golden set. They got it by virtue of a sweep, but then they weren't done yet. They still had to play that golden set to 15 points. And Vakif Bank, to their tremendous credit, did not have their best stuff in this match, but were so experienced, so mature, so prepared, and the moment wasn't too big for them. They responded in the golden set and won it 15-12. And I actually don't even see that final score on here on the stat sheet. But the Vakif Bank survives in a golden set 15-12 to advance to take on Conegliano in the super finals again. So we'll get to that in just a second, but all the credit in the world to both of these teams. Boy, did they deliver a dramatic match yesterday. It was just electric to watch. But the mental fortitude that it takes for a team like Vakif Bank to get swept on the road and immediately, like with no rest whatsoever, like as soon as that first match was over, the Fenerbahce won that third set in extra points. It was straight into a coin toss and first serve of the golden set. There was no delay, no time for Vakif Bank to rest, to try and forget what had just happened. They had to immediately jump into a do-or-die golden set after getting swept on the road, and that Fenerbahce crowd yesterday was just off the charts. The energy in there was just amazing. But Vakif Bank were able to turn it around. They were the much more clutch, disciplined team there in that golden set. Isabel Haak and Gabi Guimaraes woke up at the right time. They got some great block touches. They put on a little bit of service pressure. And sure enough, despite the best efforts of Fenerbahce, and again, huge credit to Coach Zoran Terzic's squad for even forcing that golden set, Vakif Bank escapes, and they advance to the superfinals for the second consecutive year for the matchup that perhaps we've all been waiting for. And just to break that down really quickly before we move on to the men's, we've got Vakif Bank versus Conegliano again. It's a rematch of last year's superfinal, which Conegliano won in an all-time great 5-set match in Verona. Then they played earlier this club season, back in December in Ankara, in the finals of the World Club Championship, which Vakif Bank won. So this is a tiebreaker of sorts in this great European rivalry of the last 2 years before it seems like there's going to be some significant shuffling of those two teams this offseason. And it's all going to come down to the superfinals on May 22nd in Ljubljana, Slovenia, to see who gets the last laugh and the pivotal Champions League trophy between Vakif Bank and Conegliano again. So those two teams are going to have plenty of time to prepare for the superfinals. Conegliano in particular, because they didn't even have to play a semifinal. But that will not be a 2-match series. That is straight up one match, one standard best-of-5 match on a neutral site in Slovenia to decide who takes the entire Champions League. And it is a rematch from last year of Vakif Bank versus Conegliano. So I am extremely excited for that. But again, huge congratulations to Fenerbahce on the fight that they showed after going down in 4 in the first leg. The just incredible, incredible match they put on yesterday at home. But Vakif Bank survives and advances to the finals for the second straight year. So that's it for the women's side. The finals are set right there. Now moving on to the men's. We had the first leg of the men's semifinals last Wednesday, and the second legs are coming up tonight. In just about 20 minutes, the second leg of this matchup, the all-Polish men's semifinal between Jastrzębski Węgiel and Zaksa Kędzierzyn-Koźle kicks off in Zaksa. And there's not even that much to talk about this because of how completely and utterly Zaksa destroyed Jastrzębski last Wednesday. This was a beatdown, never in doubt. 25-20, 25-14, 25-19. 76 minutes total, a clean sweep for Zaksa Kędzierzyn-Koźle, the defending champions. 62% kills as a team. Above 50% attacking efficiency as a team. That is absolutely incredible. One of the great team attacking performances I have ever seen in a volleyball match of this caliber. Plus 8 stuff blocks, 4 for Norbert Huber, 50% positive passing, only 2 unforced errors. It was just a clinic put on by Zaksa against their Polish rivals. Jastrzębski, not good at all. Jan Hadrava, 0% efficiency, was benched in the second set. He was excellent in the Lube Civitanova matchup, was so good in those 2 matches in the quarterfinals against the Italian side. But the matchup, for some reason, against Zaksa is different for Hadrava. Zaksa really has his number, and he did not play well at all. Stefan Boyer came in off the bench. Trevor Kleveno was not good at all. Rafael Shimura came in and also was not good at all. And it has been reported, actually, by Jastrzębski's social media earlier this evening that Trevor Kleveno is not with the team tonight. He's dealing with a knee injury and is actually back in his home country of France seeking treatment. So we can assume that Rafael Shimura will get the start at the other outside hitter position across from Tomasz Fornal for Jastrzębski tonight. But man, are they seriously searching for some answers? I'm not sure if Yuri Glader is going to be healthy enough to play for them in the middle. If not, it'll be Jakub Masira again. I don't think there's anything that this Jastrzębski team can do to slow down Zaksa at this point. The way that they played, the way that Zaksa played in that matchup last week, and beating Jastrzębski again in the Plus Liga regular season on Saturday. I mean, they're playing 3 times in the span of 8 days, these two teams. It's crazy. The way that the way that Zaksa is playing right now, and the chip that they seem to have on their shoulder, even though they won the Champions League last year, you got to remember they lost to Jastrzębski in the finals of the Plus Liga. And the guys that are still on that team, so the Łukasz Kaczmarek, Kamil Semeniuk, Alexander Śliwka, like those guys who were so pivotal to that Zaksa just miracle run last year, but they didn't complete the trifecta. They lost in the Plus Liga finals. They have not forgotten that, and they destroyed Jastrzębski last week. So Jastrzębski's going to have to pull off a miracle. Benjamin Toniutti will really be put to the test setting this team without his countryman Trevor Kleveno. Who knows what opposite is going to get the start, Hadrava or Boyer. Who knows if Yuri Glader is going to be able to play in the middle. But the best that Jastrzębski can do on the road is do exactly what Fenerbahce did on the women's side and take the match in 3 or 4 sets to force a golden set and then win that to 15 to advance. Not impossible. I'm not going to pick it. I think Zaksa is going to pretty convincingly hold on to win this series and advance to the finals for the second straight year. That's what I picked on last week's show, and I think that's going to hold up. Zaksa's put themselves in just such a tremendously good position right now. I mean, look at some of these numbers. Semeniuk last week, 12 for 18, only 2 errors. Outstanding. Śliwka, 11 for 22, only 1 error. Outstanding. David Smith, 7 for 7 in the middle. Perfect, literally flawless, no errors of any kind in his stat line, just a masterclass. And got to give credit to Marcin Janusz as well for just setting that offense to over 50% efficiency. If your entire team is attacking that well, your setter deserves all the credit in the world. And Janusz has really got something to prove in this particular matchup, having Toniutti having won that Champions League last year with Zaksa moving to the other side for Jastrzębski this season. So huge credit to Marcin Janusz for showing up that last match. Zaksa in a pretty comfortable spot right now. All the pressure on Jastrzębski to pull off the kind of miracle upset without all their weapons available. I don't see it happening personally. I think that Zaksa is going to advance here. That match is getting underway in about 15 minutes from right now, live here on YouTube and on Eurovolley.tv. If you already are subscribed to Eurovolley.tv, great, you can go watch it over there. If you want to watch it on YouTube, the link is in the description of this video, but you will have to join the YouTube channel as an all-star member. It's behind a little bit of a paywall, I think $4.99 US, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a phenomenal value for all the Champions League matches that you get. You get that one and Perugia-Trentino later, and you get the Super Finals in mid-May. So if you want to watch the matches tonight on YouTube, the links are in the description. Speaking of Perugia-Trentino, oh man, there's a lot more to get to about this than there was in the Polish match, because Zaksa destroyed Jastrzębski so convincingly. This was one of the great matches of the season anywhere in the world of club volleyball. Trentino beats Perugia in 5 on the road. 25-23, 19-25, 25-23 again, 28-30, and then 15-12 in the 5th. I commentated this game. It was maybe my favorite match I've ever announced in my life, and I'm thrilled to be on the call later this evening for the rematch in Trento, which is going to be amazing. So that's getting underway at 8:30 p.m. CET, I believe, so in about 45 minutes from right now. This match last week was amazing. And the really important thing about this, before we dive into some of the stats, is that Perugia, from down 2-1, was able to force it to 5. And even though they lost in 5, Trentino was able to escape in the 5th, 15-12. Perugia has still set themselves up to be able to go into Trento tonight, win the match in 3 or 4 sets, and advance without the need of a golden set, which is really important. If they had to win it in 3 or 4 and then play another set to 15, it changes their mindset on the match completely. Instead, both teams, really, if they win the match, if Trentino wins the match at all, they're through. The only way we get a golden set here is if Perugia wins the match in 5. But if Perugia wins the match in 3 or 4, they're through. It actually sets up really nicely for this rematch. This is the 8th time this year alone that these two teams are playing. We talked about it on last week's show. Perugia now leads the season series 4-3. They played in Champions League pools. They played in the Super Cup semifinals way back at the beginning of the year. They played in the Coppa Italia finals. They played twice in the Italian regular season. Like, you won't find two teams that know each other better anywhere in Europe than these two right here. And an important thing to note about this, if you take a snapshot at the domestic league in Italy, what's going on right now, Perugia has advanced to the semifinals of the Scudetto in Italy. They beat Cisterna pretty easily in 2 matches as the 1 seed in the league. Trentino, however, played an absolute barn burner on Sunday against Piacenza, which went to 24-22 in the 5th, which is insane. And Trentino will then have to play Piacenza again this Sunday in addition to survive in Italy, in addition to this match against Perugia tonight to survive in the Champions League. There's a chance that Trentino kind of spent everything that they had in the proverbial gas tank to win that match against Perugia last week. That's not impossible. They were really pushed to the limit against Piacenza. They ended up losing that match by the tightest of margins. They then have to turn around this week, play 2 extremely good opponents in 4 days, Perugia tonight and Piacenza again on Sunday, to survive in those 2 competitions. And I'm just not sure that Trentino has enough gas in the tank without the play of Daniele Lavia at full strength. I've talked about him a lot this year. I've been happily surprised with how good he's been for Trentino this year and how important he's been. They've run this 3 outside hitter system throughout the year, but as you see, in the Champions League match last week against Perugia, Lavia didn't start a single one of the sets. It was Giulio Pinali that started the match at opposite in every set, and Lavia came in sparingly. He's dealing with a bit of a back injury, and when he was in, he wasn't all that good. 4 for 12 with 3 errors. Pinali, not great either, 5 for 13 with 2 errors. So Trentino is really missing some production from that 3rd wing spot, because you can't say enough about how good Alessandro Micheletto is playing. 24 for 47 with only 2 errors in that 5-setter last week is just otherworldly. Matej Kaziski at age 37 is putting on just a masterclass of outside hitting, and it's amazing. It's truly amazing what that guy is doing at age 37 this year for Trentino. But if they don't have Lavia or Pinali healthy and playing well, I don't think they have a chance against either Perugia or maybe even Piacenza in Italy this weekend. And while Marco Pedrashin and Sresko Lisinac are a significant force in the middle at all times, They really need that third wing spot to contribute for Trentino to really have a chance, in my opinion. And I just think that they might have spent everything that they had to beat Perugia last week, which was an unbelievable match. Again, one of the greatest I've ever seen. But I'm not sure that Trentino has enough stamina to do it again this week twice. But we're focused on Champions League here. And now to talk about Perugia a little bit, we got to talk about Wilfredo Leon first and foremost. He actually was not all that good in that last match. The numbers, 20 for 49 with only 5 errors, 41% kills, not as good as we've seen Leon at times. But despite he started the match slow, but when his team needed him the most in the 4th set, down 2-1 in a seriously dangerous position, because if they lost that match in 4, everything is different. He ripped 3 aces in a row in midway through the set and ripped an ace at 29-28 to win the 4th and force it to 5. It was just the Wilfredo Leon moment. It's the moment that we've seen him rise to so many times throughout his career. Think about that Champions League back in whatever it was, 2018, his last match in Zenit Kazan, when they played that just star-studded Lubech Ivanova team in the finals of Champions League. And Wilfredo Leon did not start the match well, but by the end of the match, he singularly decided that his team was not going to lose. He put Zenit Kazan on his back. He beat one of the greatest assembled club teams of all time single-handedly, including an ace serve to win the Champions League. He has done this before, and last week he did it again. Even though he didn't have his best stuff, when his team needed him, he ripped off 4 aces, 3 in a row, all 4 of them in the 4th set alone, plus 5 stuff blocks, which is just incredible. So Leon, if Leon even plays a little bit better than he did last week, I think Trentino is in serious trouble. Kamil Rykliski last week, 22 for 33, 2 errors only. That's well above 60% efficiency. That's one of the greatest stat lines for an opposite I have ever seen. Kamil Rykliski was so good last week, plus 3 aces, 25 points in total, was just put on a clinic. He was absolutely perfect for them. When Leon was a little shaky and Matt Anderson had a good start to the match but not as good of a finish, Rykliski was outstanding the entire way through. So I expect him to be just as good. Mengozzi was okay in the middle for them. Soleil was okay in the middle. I would like to see him get involved in the offense even a little bit more. But again, I think it just goes back to Trentino having spent probably everything that they had to even get to this point, beating Perugia in 5 on the road last week. I expect Perugia to go in tonight and win in 3-point fashion. I'll call it 3-1. I think Trentino can take a set at home, but I think Perugia, from the baseline and just their energy and their attackers, just there's nobody that you can sleep on that team. They're still my pick to win the entire Champions League despite losing last week. And I think Perugia gets it done this week on the road and advances to the finals. That's my prediction, but we will see what happens in just a little over half an hour from right now. So, just to set the stage for that one more time, we know who our women's finalists are. They've got a long time to wait before the Super Finals in Slovenia on May 22nd. It'll be the rematch of Imoco Corneliano versus Vakifbank Istanbul, which we're all very excited about to see the next chapter in that rivalry. But before that, we've got 2 phenomenal return legs of the men's semifinals tonight. The links for those are in the description below in this video right now. 5 minutes until first serve of the all-Polish semifinal between Jaszczewski and Zaksa. 30 minutes until first serve of the all-Italian men's semifinal between Perugia and Trentino. Those can be viewed here on YouTube. The links in the description below for all-star members of the channel, which is a phenomenal value at only $4.99. Or Eurovolley.tv if you already have a subscription to that platform. So that's where you can watch the matches. I just strongly encourage you to spend that tiny bit of money to support great international volleyball, because the matches, I promise you, will be worth it. So I'll be on the call for the Trentino-Perugia match. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll see all you guys in the chat there. I'm going to scan through the chat here really quickly before we cut the show and move on to watch all the great matches, just for a couple more late questions. Let's see. For Perugia to advance, Anderson needs to step up. I don't disagree. I would like to see him have a little bit better of a match than he did last week. He passed the ball well and played great position 6 defense, but I want to see him be a little more aggressive, attacking and blocking for sure. But as well as Rick Liskey played last week, and as well as I know Wilfredo Leon can play, I think Perugia's going to have a great chance. And scanning just a little bit more, I think that's about it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching the European Volleyball Show. It's been an incredible couple weeks of elimination volleyball in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. And in just a couple hours, we will know our men's finalists. We already know our women's finalists. The Champions League has been unbelievable this year. It delivers as always, and it's all coming down to this tonight. So make sure you know where you can watch the matches. The links are in the description here on YouTube, or pick up a subscription to Eurovolley.tv. And we will see you next time on the European Volleyball Show. Thank you very much for watching.